Hi, I am Mrs. Stubbs and I am your U.S. History and Government Specialist. This class that I am using as a model for this course orientation is actually U.S. History, but it is also good and the information is the same for government. So this will also be put in my government classes. So again, my name is Joni Stubbs, and this is U.S. History 1942A and Government 7559. I have been with Julian for 12 years, and that's the longest I've actually been at any school. A little bit about myself. I started teaching before you were born, and then after teaching 7 years, I had my first child and I stayed home for quite a few years. Had my second child and then went back to work 12 years ago. So I've been with Julian that long, and let's just dig right in. So once you are in my class on Canvas, I want you to click on your folders. See, I have them open, but now I close them. So make sure they look like this, that you open them. I'm actually going to, oops, I must have double clicked it. I'm going to open up a couple folders here, but normally I would open them all. But I think that would be kind of boring for you to watch me do that. So let's first talk about this course folder. This has a wealth of information in it. Okay. And one of these things is this video. That's where you'll see the course orientation and the syllabus. You will be taking in Module 1 a syllabus quiz. Now let's talk a little bit about that quiz. The answers for that quiz is in this video right now and in the syllabus. You can actually open up the syllabus and have it right next to you while you take the quiz. So make sure you are looking at both the syllabus and listening to this course orientation quiz, because you must receive 100%. If you don't receive 100%, it will constantly come back to you saying that you need to retake the test. I will be emailing you. So make sure you get 100%. Take it as many times as you need to until you get the 100%. Hopefully you will do that and I won't have to email you. So there is a wealth of information in here, how to join the e-classes, or like when we have a review session for the final, the review session calendar, the how to use this LMS, which is called a learning management system. This is Canvas. It is our LMS. If you need to turn it in .com yourself, most assignments will automatically be turned in, but if for some reason I say you must turn this into turnitin.com, here is the course ID and the information on how to do that. So you'll see that here's how to read a rubric, how to cite images. I've put a lot of how to turn something into a PDF, how to take Cornell notes and some other note-taking instructions, the current event instructions, and listening to audios that I have put in each module folder. So what you don't see that you saw last year, so a couple changes, is that there is no AWR anymore. So where you find your assignments will be right in each module. Week 1, assignments and explanations, right there. So we'll look at that in a minute. You'll also notice that there is no due date list. We have what's called a running course this year for all of our specialist courses, where you'll only see 2 weeks at a time the modules being that are open. So this first week you'll see module 1 and 2 open, and then the next week we'll add number 3. So during week 2 you'll be able to see week 3, and so forth and so on. The reason for this is because we have a running class. This will allow the specialist to make changes as needed, and to update things as needed, whereas before we were kind of locked into whatever we wrote at the beginning of the year. This will allow us to kind of keep changes going. So you'll always have access 2 weeks before, except for this first week. So that will open on the first day. You'll notice that it says will unlock on August 20th. Will unlock on August 20th at 12 a.m. So those will open. So the third big change, if you've been with us, with Julian for a while, is that we no longer have a 2-week grace period. That has been cut to a 10-day grace period. Now let me talk about the grace period. You are not to use it unless you have an extenuating circumstance. What some kids were doing is waiting till the grace period to turn things in, and then they might have an extenuating circumstance, but we're not going to count those anymore. So you need to be on time. You need to turn your work in on time. And then if you have an extenuating circumstance, or it's written into your individual education plan that you get extra time, that 10 days is your extra time. So make sure you're using it wisely. Don't just wait till the grace period. Also, if you turn in an assignment to me and I put in the feedback, you have a chance to redo it. If you've turned it in before the original due date, like let's say the due date's on a Friday and you've turned it in on Thursday, I will grade it most likely on Friday and say, hey, if you get this in today, you can still earn up to 100%. But if you use the grace period and redo it, you can earn up to 90%. However, if you've turned it in at the end of the grace period, there is no chance to redo an assignment. So make sure you're getting those assignments in time, done in time. A little bit about note taking. I am not asking you to rewrite the book. I want you to rewrite things in your own words. Here are 2 things that will help you with that. Okay, let's move on to here. So everything you will need in a module should be in your module folder. Now, with the exception, a lot of things have changed this year. A lot of things have been added. So make sure if you see something missing, that if you click on the week 1 assignments and you see something missing in the folder, let me know right away. For those that have had me before, know that I will give bonus if to the first person who finds that I've made a grievous error in the assignment packet. So while I have this open, let's just look. I mean, it looks like a lot of assignments, but some of them say things like read the Monday message. Okay, so the reason I need you to read the Monday message is I often, usually around every 3 weeks, offer some kind of bonus in my Monday message, and only those that are reading it will get that bonus. Then you'll read the syllabus and take the quiz. This is just a note about note taking. And then it tells you that in chapters 1 through 3, those were concepts that you learned in 8th grade. So we're just going to be reviewing them. And all I want you to do is click on the class zone. And this is also in your About This Course video. You'll click on the class zone and then you'll go to each section. So how to listen to the audios is in the About This Course folder. I don't have time to do enough to tell you again here because it only allows me to record for up to 15 minutes and I want to make sure I have enough time for everything else. So listening to the audios is right there. So let's go back to the assignments. And so you're not going to do any like assignments on chapters 1 through 3. Now, your current events are due once every 3 weeks. So every 3 modules, you should have one done. Okay? So make sure you are doing at least one every 3 weeks. Once you get 5 done, you can turn them into your current event portfolio. Your primary source is found in the Module 1 folder. So make sure you do that. If you want to know how to do a primary source, the video is in your Module 1 folder. And then you have an EF project. So those are things that you'll turn into your EF. So at the bottom here, I have given your EF some instructions so they don't have to read through all of this. So they will open up this every month and look at the highlighted words at the bottom of the 4 modules that they're meeting you for. So you'll show them your current event. Now, okay, you may not have done it in module 1, but you'll have at least one done by the time you meet with them. So you'll need to show them your current event, your primary source, and then how you plan on taking notes. You didn't take any notes this chapter, but you need to talk to them about how you plan on taking the notes, and then your EF project. And I've even split it down for them of how much each thing is worth. So let's actually go to week 2 so that you can see there. It also has these things. Again, current event, 1 every 3 weeks, module 2 EF project, and the T-chart essay or PowerPoint that you did for the EF. So you'll notice that there's 2 EF projects here, 1 and 2. So this one you have the choice of 5. Don't do all of them. You're choosing between these 5. And this one you have the choice of 4. Again, you're choosing 1. Okay? So let's go back. When you email me, whether it's to tell me, hey, there's a primary source listed and it's not in the module folder, I can't find it, or you have a question about an assignment and you'll email me. Emailing me is the best way to get in touch with me. So make sure you're emailing me your name and the course name. I need to know that you are in U.S. History or 1942A. I need to know that you're in government or 7559. And I need to know your name. And then if it has to do with an assignment, I need to know the assignment name. Do not assume that I know you just by the name of your email address. Do not assume that I know who you are and know exactly what you're talking about. Be as specific as you can in your emails. I've already mentioned that in the Monday messages, there sometimes will be bonus. So make sure you're reading your Monday messages. I do offer 1 extra credit assignment in my 2 courses, my government and my U.S. history. So don't come to me and ask me at the end of the semester, how can I get extra credit? I actually ask you early on in the semester if you want to do the extra credit. That I believe is in, here we go, extra credit project questionnaire. All this is a 1 question, are you going to do the extra credit or not? Okay. And it's not due until, let's see, extra credit right here, the module 13. So this is all extra, this is for extra credit. So if you come to me in module 16 and say, how can I get extra credit? I'm going to say, I'm sorry, you already had that opportunity. There is no grace period on this. So couple last things before I run out of time. Discussion boards. Let's go back to module 2. How to complete a discussion board video is right here. The discussion board rubric is right here. And then you'd have discussions. There is no grace period for a discussion board. So don't plan on turning that one in late. Part 1 is due by the end of week 1, and part 2 is due by the end of week 2. You need to address the entire prompt. That's worth 8 points. You need to make sure you meet the length. The minimum is 5 sentences, but let me talk a minute about this. If you write a bunch of fluff or just nonsense or repeat the question, that does not count towards your 5-sentence minimum. A lot of kids make an error and write fragments. That's not a sentence. So just because you put a period in there, it's not a full sentence. So make sure you're writing 5 complete full sentences at minimum. Most kids write more. And then make sure you're using the correct grammar. When you respond to your peer, make sure you are building upon their post, because if you just talk about it, you lose 3 points. So make sure you're building upon it, and make sure that building upon is at least 3 sentences. If you write good job or I love your writing, those don't count towards a 3-sentence minimum. However, they're very nice to write. Last thing is your EF grade is worth 30% of your overall grade. The rest of the scores the 70% come from your specialist assignments and your final exam. Have a great day. Bye-bye.